Hey there, strangers! It's Colethehitman, and today I'm going to be bringing you some Team Fortress 2 commentary, and this time I'm playing as Medic, and no, this is not live, because I want to talk about Team Fortress 2, and in general about how to get better at things. For me, I view getting better at Team Fortress 2 in like 7 easy steps. The first step is, of course, playing it by itself and learning how to play. Slowly, if you're just starting out, Valve servers are a great place to begin playing because everyone's going to be the same skill level as you. You're going to be new, everybody's going to be slightly new, and you're going to be playing with people who won't push you into the ground too hard. And this is a great place to begin. But slowly, as you become more comfortable and you understand more of the game mechanics and you start playing things that you usually don't play, let's say you usually play heavy and you start playing spy, you'll start to learn more. And it's good to start to learn more because the more you know about everything, the better you get at everything in Team Fortress 2. And with anything in life, well, most anything in life, you get better at it when you put more time and effort into it. So, as an example, someone who's been playing Team Fortress 2 for, let's say, 5 hours will be nowhere as good as someone who's been playing Team Fortress 2 for 5,000 hours. So, slowly, you want to work your way up and just get used to it. Just put in the time and the effort. The second step I would do is find a server. Once you're past the whole I'm playing with people my own skill level, it's time to start playing with people who might be outside of your skill level. So maybe stop playing Valve servers. Start looking for servers where people play regular, where servers that have regulars on it, because this means these people play Team Fortress 2 regularly and they play on this server regularly. So preferably maybe servers without random crits, because random crits can be a little bit of a nuisance sometimes. Like, I just got killed by a random crit before from a demo man, and it didn't feel good. But at the same time, sometimes random crits can be funny, so it's all personal preference. And so you play on a server with regulars, or you play with people that you know that are better with you, and there's several ways to do this. You could rather look for servers, you can play with your friends and just continue to play with the same friends over and over, and you'll begin to understand more about the game. Other people can be a great resource for learning. The next step, I would say, from playing outside your comfort zone and then playing Team Fortress 2 on servers that aren't Valve and playing with people who are generally may be better than you or may understand more than you, I would say maybe practice, and not just like the regular Team Fortress 2 jumping into a server practice. I mean, like, practice servers in the sense of, as an example, if you want to learn how to rocket jump better, there's rocket jumping servers where you can go, and the server's just made so you can rocket jump around and learn how to do tricks with your rocket jumps. And then there's also servers called MGE servers, and these are essentially 1v1 servers where you verse someone as a 1v1, and they have different settings such as air shots and different maps, and this is a great way to practice your 1v1. But in the sense of playing as a team and coordinating things, you're going to have to look for something a little different. And I'd have to say, if you want to learn how to play Team Fortress 2 as a team, or maybe play for a team, or play on a competitive level, you might want to start out watching first. Well, watching will not increase your skill level. It will give you the basic understanding how it should be played. So watching someone play competitive Team Fortress 2 is a great place to start to learn how competitive Team Fortress 2 is played. I know, not contradictory, repetitive, but just trying to get the point across. So a great place to watch these live games, or these games, is perhaps live. There's live streams and there's casts, and then there's UGC matches that you can watch. I actually played in a pickup game for Tryhard Pug, so Tryhard Pickup Game. It's a Steam group, and they casted one of my matches. I will put that in the description, and it is a sixes game. If you don't know what sixes or Highlander is, sixes is essentially 6 players. You usually run 2 soldiers, 2 scouts, a medic, and a demo man, and then Highlander is 1 of every class, and you're locked to everyone, 1 of every class. So I played it in a sixes game. I didn't do too shabby. The game got casted, and Tryhard Pugs will cast and show more games. So if you're interested in watching Team Fortress 2, there is a good place to do it. So a little bit of advertisement for them and a little bit of advertisement for me. So once you're past level of you've been watching competitive Team Fortress 2 and you think to yourself, you know what, I want to do that. I want to play competitive Team Fortress 2. You can go ahead and, you know, jump into Tryhard Pugs Steam group, because we are, from what I've been able to tell, we are all different skill levels. Like there's me, who I've been playing Team Fortress 2 for about 900 hours on the computer, and I've played for a Highlander team for about 2 months before I left and went to camp. And then there's people who've been playing with high skill level, the highest skill level people, and then there's people who just picked up the game and they're trying to learn. So it's a great place to learn. Me personally, like I mentioned before, I've been playing Team Fortress 2 for about 900 hours just on the computer version, and before that, for about maybe 3 years before I got a PC, I've been playing Team Fortress 2 on the PS3 for the Orange Box because a friend introduced me. So I have probably over 1,500 hours of Team Fortress 2, and that basically only puts me at a low skill level, because it all depends on how I was playing and who I was playing with. I was playing, you know, essentially with just people my own skill level or just friends. I was never playing or trying hard or trying to learn. I was playing it for fun. And essentially, not trying to say that, you know, playing Team Fortress 2 competitively takes out the fun of it. It just adds a whole another aspect of fun. Because I will tell you right now, there is a rush when you play Team Fortress 2 with a group of people and you're trying to win as a team. There is a certain feeling of comradeship that you get. It's a wonderful feeling. If anyone's ever played for a sports team or anything, then basically everything I've been saying just makes 100% sense. It's getting to learn how to do things, even if it's an instrument. You can take what I've been saying and apply it to anything you've ever wanted to learn, except maybe flying. Well, no, not even that. You can learn how to fly an airplane. But anyways, you can take it and put it into every single thing you've ever wanted to learn. And it's just basic good advice. You begin, you watch, you learn with other people because other people can be helpful, and you learn from other people. That's another thing I forgot to mention. There's people out there, I think it's, what is it called, mentoring? Yes, it is. I've been offered to be mentored, and I did not accept the mentoring. And mentoring is when you play with one person and they watch you play, or they play against you, and they pick up on things that you might be lacking, or other such things. And having a mentor and anything in life is a great thing to have, because if you can trust their opinion and you can trust their skill level, then their advice will make you more successful. So having a mentor is another good resource to learning. So if you're willing to learn and you're willing to take responsibility for your actions, I don't know where responsibility for your actions came into this, but if you're willing to learn and you're willing to have responsibility for your actions, you will go places in life, in general, even in work. So, as an example of learning tips and tricks, right there I popped Uber to save my life, or else I would have burned to death. And the saying is, pop it, don't drop it. And I heard that while watching competitive Team Fortress 2, and it just made so much sense to me. Like, you don't want to die, you being dead, that Uber was wasted, and all the such things, but pop it, don't drop it. So, such the little things that you learn, such as not pushing sticky bombs into the back of your medic, might just help. So, it's all the tips and the secrets that you want to learn. So yeah, learning how to do basically anything from Colethehitman. It's been a 10-minute speech, and I am winded. So instead, let's talk about other such things, such as my history with Team Fortress 2. Let's do that. My history with Team Fortress 2. Back in the vanilla days of Team Fortress 2, back in the day I owned it for the orange box, I remember playing with my best friend. Like every weekend, whenever I had spare time, we were playing together because we had so much fun. And I remember when the first update ever came out on the computer, and what was it? The flare gun. I remember being so excited for the flare gun, and we discussed if the PS3 would ever get patches, if we would get new maps, if we would get Air Blast. And then the soldier versus the demo man came out, and the buff banner and the gunboat was introduced, and we were like, oh, you know, they're gonna update. And then there's people just as excited as us, so there's PS3 messages roaming around the PS3 network like, oh, if you like this or accept this, you know, they'll update this, and EA will get their shit together and actually update. But it never happened. I mean, you could still essentially jelly hop. I remember doing that too, just for fun. You could jelly hop out of the map and through corners and into walls and walk on the sky. And oh, I remember the fun, the sky walking. Being a giant troll as an engineer with a sentry in the sky, and you know, as soon as one person learns, the other person learns, and then you get everybody who's doing it. And then it kind of just creates a, you know, that's why people have updates, and that's why they ban things and things get patched. As an example, the thing that ruined Team Fortress 2 on the PS3 for me was probably, I think it's about 2 years ago, someone learned how to apply SV cheats with a USB device. So they were able to no clip. They were able to hurt me minus 99999, so they had like infinite health. You could only kill them with a backstab, and it got worse from there. I mean, at first it was kind of cool. People were flying around the maps, but then it just got like, you joined a server and there was 9 sentries in your spawn and you were dead. You couldn't play, and then people would join servers, and because the servers kind of didn't know how to run it, having a hacker would sometimes just destroy the server, and it would shut down within minutes. And it was getting pretty brutal when there was only like 4 servers, and that was another thing to watch. I slowly watched the game I love decline, and I'm sure people have felt this before. Like maybe if you ever played Quake or Quake Pro, and you were like, you started playing Quake when everyone else started playing Quake, and you got really good at it, and then Quake, I mean, there's people who play Quake this day and competitive with Quake, but Quake, you know, obviously has declined. Team Fortress 2 is made from Quake, so I slowly watched the PS3 TF2 community decline, where I used to be in like a clan, quote unquote. I used to play with other quote unquote clans, and I remember, because it was a competitive thing back then, and, you know, and I watched the community just shrink and shrink, where it started to get to a point where I'd always see the same 4 people playing, and these 4 people would be good, and anyone else who had just gotten the game, like you could tell when someone, you know, just got the orange box, maybe it was on sale, and they bought it and they were playing Team Fortress 2, you could tell those people. And those people were just really put off from the game because they were getting owned by the regulars. And so I like what, you know, the PC has done with Team Fortress 2, where it's free to play, you got an influx of new people, and you have Valve servers where people who are new can go play, and it has all these wonderful things. And in general, Team Fortress 2 is probably my favorite game out there, and I'm so glad I put, you know, 1,500 plus hours. You know, it doesn't really sound good when you're talking about a video game. It sounds better when you're talking about pianos, but I'm really glad I put the time into, because it is my hobby, and I have really enjoyed it. And so I think this is the end of my rant discussion about Team Fortress 2 and about learning how to play. 'Cause, you know, that's literally how this conversation started. I hope you all have a good evening, and, you know, just watch the rest of the video just wrap up.